Alexander Volkanovski is back on top, and Paddy Pimblett absolutely bullied Michael Chandler. Before I get into the fallout of UFC 314, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe as I have brand new videos every single week. Man, it's exciting. It feels like MMA is back. We've had a rough start to the year with some lackluster pay-per-views and fight nights, but we're back in business. UFC 314 was incredibly fun. So let's break down the card and get into the fallout. Alexander Volkanovski defeated Diego Lopes to regain the featherweight belt. Volk defied all the odds, coming off 2 back-to-back KO losses and hitting the 35 and over curse, but he proved everyone wrong and put on a complete masterclass. Volk used constant forward pressure, inside leg kicks, double jabs and feints to control the range. His right hand was laser guided as usual, landing clean in every single round. Lopes did have some big moments though, especially with a juicy uppercut in round 4 that visibly hurt Volk, and he even dropped him in round 2 with a monstrous right that had me shitting my pants. I was terrified, but Volkanovski stayed composed, outworked Lopes with volume and cage control. Lopes showed nothing but class during this fight, and he for sure has a great future ahead of him. It's amazing to see Volk back on top. I just hope fans don't let Ilya loom over this division. He's off to 155 now. It's time for the division to move forward and the fans. In the co-main event, we had Paddy Pimblett versus Michael Chandler, and Paddy Pimblett silenced all the doubters. I did pick Paddy to win this fight, but I didn't expect him to dominate the way he did. Chandler had next to no answers for Paddy, though he did kick him in the in the second round, and round 1 was probably Chandler's best of the night. He landed a few takedowns and had some good moments on top, but even there, Paddy was threatening with some big elbows, and from round 2, it was all Paddy. His jab, his control, his use of the cage to reverse takedown attempts, it was all brilliant. Chandler looked lost on the feet. Paddy mixed in body kicks, Superman punches, and denied almost every entry and exchange from Chandler. When he got on top position, he went to work. Big elbows, constantly threatening the submission, and it all came to an end with Paddy hurting Chandler with a perfectly timed flying knee in the 3rd round. And while Chandler ran away, Paddy took his back, flattened him out, and pummeled him until the ref stepped in. Paddy is now going to be jumping into the top 10 of the division and needs a top opponent. I could see him getting the scrap with Justin Gaethje or Charles Oliveira, and after that performance, he might beat them. We could see Paddy in title contention within the next year. Then we move on from one Bellator tick in Michael Chandler to another in Patricio. Pitbull. Pitbull made his UFC debut against Yair Rodríguez. Pitbull looked like a walking punch bag. All Yair teared off, throwing every kick known to man. Inside low kicks, switch kicks, wheel kicks, snap kicks to the gut. He even threw it in a flying knee. Pitbull had nothing for Yair, though he did get pretty close with an armbar at one point that looked like it could be nasty, but he couldn't pull it off. Pitbull has been patient for most of his career, but in a 3-rounder, you can't be doing that. You have to be active. It ain't looking so good for the Bellator guys. Maybe it really was just a second-class promotion after all. Then we move on to Bryce Mitchell versus Silva. Silva looked phenomenal technically. Powerful body kicks, feints, and a nasty right hook that repeatedly found Mitchell's chin. Mitchell, as always, came forward and got some decent takedowns, but he was sloppy. He got cracked early and often. In round 2, Silva rocked him with a brutal right, then snatched up a ninja choke, finishing the fight there and then, and Mitchell went out cold. Then Silva barked in Bryce's unconscious face. Yeah, literally barked. It's embarrassing. Look, we all know Bryce ain't no angel. That guy said some terrible things, but barking at a sleeping opponent, come on man, celebrate with a bit of class. Don't bark like a chihuahua. Silva just proved that he's a complete though he is fun to watch. Then opening up the main card, we had Dominick Reyes versus Nikita Krylov. Reyes might officially be back. He knocked out Krylov cold in the 1st round. I was concerned for Reyes coming into this fight. he seemingly never recovered from the John Jones fight, but Reyes looked faster, sharper and more confident than we've ever seen him in years. Krylov came out with aggressive body kicks and headshots, but Reyes stood firm, circled smartly and then found a devastating left hook counter mid-exchange, dropping Krylov like a sack of spuds. It's amazing to see Reyes doing well. He strung together a few wins and now we might see him back in title contention soon if he keeps this up. UFC 314 was a cracker of a card. Volkanovski proves he's still elite. Paddy is looking like he's ready to conquer a division. Yair Rodríguez is still one of the most creative strikers at 145. And Silva is dangerous as hell, even though he might be a fucking twat. And Dominick Reyes might make the comeback of the decade. Thank you everyone for watching. If you can like, comment and subscribe, it really does help the channel out.